Amsterdam at the Money 2020, the last day, and we meet very interesting people. Olga Feldmeier, nice to meet you again, actually.
Nice to meet you again. So, actually, quite really good to be here. Huge conference, even bigger than the last one in Berlin, right? Used to be Money2020, used to be actually quite payment-heavy conference for banks and payment institutions, but it's kind of turning more into a crypto conference too. For example, you've seen they dedicated the whole track to crypto,
ringside
blockchain stuff, right? And even in the other tracks, they had, I think, like 5 going in parallel, right? In other tracks, all the big guys were always either asked about blockchain or talked about it out of their free will, right? Yeah. So the one that was probably most noted, Steve Wozniak, basically reiterated what Jack Dorsey just said at Consensus in New York, that he also believes that Bitcoin has a chance to become the next, the dominant global currency and reserve currency, right? So that's great to hear. What else?
Do you believe it as well?
Oh, I believe that for the last 5 years. This is me preaching this and everybody else saying this woman is crazy. So it's good to hear that there are more and more crazy people like me, you know, on big stages. And just look around. I mean, you know, all this huge exhibition area. It used to be just banks and payment companies, but now so many payment token, Kraken, Ripple, right? So it's really great that they're coming here. Right.
So the industry is growing, and were there actually some announcements or some news concerning the crypto world?
Well, few, I think. For example, Ripple, a CEO said that they announced it here that they will donate $50 million US to research in blockchain space, giving it to 15 universities like MIT and so on, right? So this is great, and this is actually also new, because normally it used to be only banks or large corporates that can donate this amount of money to something to support their business, right? So you see blockchain companies also moving ranks in that regard. There was also this interesting conversation with national banks. You probably also were there. So there were National Bank of Canada, Japan, Lithuania, Switzerland, right? From Switzerland, Thomas Moser was there. The question was kind of like, do you think that cryptocurrency can challenge a national currency? And Thomas Moser rightly pointed out that as long as central bank is doing a good job of, you know, protecting the currency, you know, having that currency to be stable, and there is a trust of people, there is no risk, right? It's more like for the countries that abuse their monetary policy and print money and hyperinflation is expanding, right? So that's where cryptocurrencies could challenge, you know, the local currencies, right? So that's what that was.
But Switzerland is quite far in implementing Bitcoin. You have these Bitcoin ATMs on every train station, isn't it?
Yeah, or exactly. That's like Swiss National Bank implemented that. So when you purchase your ticket and you want to purchase something else, you can also purchase Bitcoin. Yeah. How great is that, right? So that's amazing. Yeah. So that's for me personally, that kind of like announcement that was actually, you know, the most interesting.
So for you, it was actually confirmation that which you already know, like this is the future I'm working on, and more people are discovering it actually.
Exactly. Yes, and maybe like personal highlight. You know, there were like hundreds of thousands of applications from startups. Money2020 selected 200 startups that they invited, part of this Money2020 Academy. And then from those 200, they selected the top 10 to pitch at the stage, right? And they luckily selected us. That's a big honor, you know, because it's an honor and it's a convenience that we didn't have to purchase ticket, which was like about 3,000, I guess, right?
And you were a smart failure, eh? Smart failure.
Smart Valor, exactly. Pronunciation is different from the nations that pronounce it. Yeah, but basically, yes, that's great. We pitched. We're building a decentralized marketplace for tokenized alternative investments, not just trading and listing of utility tokens, but going one step further and enabling trading of security tokens such as shares in the private companies, asset-backed tokens, and so on, right? So I did the pitch. That was great, and basically, catched up with a lot of great people. Like always, you can imagine 5,000 people, so you always find your the right people to talk to. For me personally, it was great to talk to Patrick Byrne from T0, CEO of Overstock, great guy. It was quite insightful that he kind of like shared my inspiration about Switzerland becoming, this kind of new technology-based global vault for tokenized securities, for tokenized assets, and providing this this new kind of safe haven and protection for crypto wealth, right? So that was great conversation.
And people, I mean, you're also organizing like a new summit in October. Maybe you can tell something about that, and then they can meet you call yourself the Swiss Bitcoin Queen?
No, it's not. I call myself. I laugh about it. It's press calls me this way. Somebody picked it
press.
up. Yeah, it's you guys, right? So yes, basically we're on a blockchain conference in Switzerland, the largest, one of the first, global international conferences in Switzerland. The last one was in March, Crypto Summit. It's the largest in Switzerland, right? 1,300 people, great speakers from all over the world. And the next one is coming up in October on the 8th and 9th October, again in Zurich. So I invite you all guys, join. The early bird tickets are going to be on sale soon, so don't miss this one.
Thank you very much, Olga, and all the best.
Thank you. See you. Bye.